Hello, we're back. We survived the Turkey Fest.
Oh yeah, a lot of food, tons of food.
And I hope that your Turkey Fest was fine. I mean, what the hell am I calling Turkey Fest? Thanksgiving has not been canceled yet, right?
No, it hasn't been canceled. You can still call it Thanksgiving.
Okay. Not getting political. Well, this is the Husky Bible podcast, so if you already know all the guilty parties, so no need to introduce and anything and whatnot. So yeah, I hope that you had your stuffing, that you did not have to go to the bathroom multiple times, and that you had some leftovers left that you didn't have to buy in or buy out the past few days. I hope you didn't go to any stores on Black Friday, because Jesus Christ, I saw the images.
But the sales alone at freaking Best Buy were just like, especially on Apple, were like, you don't see those kinds of sales. I haven't seen those kinds of sales on Apples in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they're trying to take all the suckers in at once.
Like, come to me.
They come
and bite the apple.
Take what we have. We'll lock you in for 36 months. You'll be our bitches.
And by the end of those 36 months, we'll have about 5 new iPads or 5 new MacBooks that need to come out.
By those 36 months end, that fucking thing you bought, that fucking thing you bought ain't gonna be worth shit. It'll be even worse than used toilet paper. But come
to us.
Come. Anyway, so yeah, I hope that everybody had their fun, and
everyone had a good. What is it?
Yeah, rested up.
4 days off.
Yeah, don't remind me of what's coming next.
Well, that's us. Not everyone's like that.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, since we had a lot of free time on this spacious week, glorious long ass weekend, which I hope is a norm for every weekend. But you gotta pay them fucking gimmicks called bills and shit. Anyways, I spend my time, and this actually made the news somewhat, because I guess Tarantino released Tarantino, as if you don't know who Tarantino is. Quintin Tarantino, as if you don't know who he is. Just one of the best directors out there. I guess he's been in a book tour. I think he wrote a book about his experiences directing and whatnot. And he went to one of my favorite podcasters and comedians, Tom Segura, who is friends with Joey D. It always comes back to Joey D.
Joey D always makes this podcast, bro. No matter what.
I hope, like, the coronation event of this podcast must be that we get him in a podcast someday. We're not big enough for that to happen yet.
I hope one day.
But
one day.
I just hope that he murders us and making us laugh.
Listen here, you cocksuckers. I'm only doing this once.
Oh, by the way, remind me later to send you a podcast that he did with Tom Segura in Spanish.
Oh my goodness!
That, like, you think that he's funny and he's just funny in English. You should hear it in Spanish. Anyways, and by the way, in the beginning of the podcast, Tom even teaches you how to get the subtitles. So that way, if you like, so you can. He even says it in the beginning. If you want to follow in with the conversation, here's how you put the subtitles on, so you can understand what the hell's going on. So, anyways, so Quentin Tarantino went to one of Tom Segura's podcasts called Two Bears, One Cave. That's the one that Tom does with Bert Kreischer, the Machine, or as he calls him, Hitler. That's a whole nother story. It's a term of endearment. It's a term of endearment.
What? How? How is that even possible?
You gotta be in the joke so you understand. Anyway, so Bert wasn't there because I guess he's touring about his comedy special and whatnot. So Tarantino went to his podcast and took Bert's place, which is not weird because every time that Bert's out touring, someone always takes Bert's place, and vice versa. Anyway, so it was Quentin out doing the book tour, and a lot of interesting shit because Tarantino never lost for words. He always speaks his mind, always tells it as he feels as his truth. He doesn't beat around the bushes. Like for example, you seen the last movie he did, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No.
Okay, so it's a revisionist story, and as you know, in all Quentin Tarantino movies, you don't have one lead; you have a bunch of characters that all make up the story. Though you can technically say yes, there is one lead, but you need all that ensemble in order to tell the story because he always concentrates on multiple characters. All his movies have multiple characters that have a say in it and steal the show in one way or another. In this case, the lead is DiCaprio. He's acting as an actor from the '60s that is now, seen his better days. Is almost washed up because he's, alcoholic and whatnot. So he doesn't have the biggest pull that he had back in the day when he was more famous. So now he's doing TV shit in the '60s. We're talking about late '60s. So this is about the time where the Manson family was, doing the murders. So he actually adapts that part into the story. This is spoilers for everyone who hasn't seen the movie so far. By the way, 3-year-old movie. Fuck you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
So fuck you.
So it's okay.
One of the scenes is that pissed people off was the depiction of Bruce Lee because he added Bruce Lee into the story. Why? Because the character that Brad Pitt plays, Cliff Booth, his character is based on Judo Gene LaBelle. Have you heard of that name before?
No.
Well, that man actually had an encounter with Bruce Lee, and he used to be a judo. That's what they call him, Judo Gene, and he also was a professional wrestler. And he, by many, is thought of as the godfather or the guy that's actually started MMA because he mixed all of the martial arts into one.
Okay.
And he has a lot of respect within the MMA community. He passed away this year, I believe. He was very, very old. I mean, think about that. He was in the same time around Bruce Lee, so you can imagine he was old.
Yeah.
So Tarantino takes a part of what happened to Bruce Lee. Well, because Bruce Lee started his career in Hollywood, but as Kato in the Green Hornet, he was like the Green Hornet's Robin, only that this Robin kicks a major fucking ass because Bruce Lee, duh. Because Bruce Lee. And that's how he started his acting career in Hollywood with the Green Hornet. So he places a scene where Bruce Lee is the Green Hornet, and he's like very pompous, very arrogant, and then he gets into a fight with Cliff Booth, and Cliff takes the first down, and then because they come in a gentleman's agreement. Okay, we get in a disagreement. We're gonna kick each other's ass, but since we're filming a movie or a TV series, we can't have our faces getting fucked up. So the agreement that they get, okay, nothing above the face, nothing above the neck. So everything below the neck, all good, but above the neck, no. And they were like, okay, let's do that. So Bruce Lee wins the first round because he slams Cliff into the floor, and Cliff was like, okay, that's nice, good, very good. Let's try that again. And then he grabs Bruce Lee and slams into a fucking car and leaves the biggest giant dent on that car. It's basically Bruce Lee's. So the reason I mentioned that is because the only living daughter of Bruce Lee, I think her name is Shannon Lee. Yeah, Shannon. Was very fucking angry at the way they portrayed Bruce Lee as an arrogant asshole. And one of the things that Quentin said, this not now, but he said it before when the movie came out. He said, look, I understand her being angry because it's her dad. And I can accept that she can get angry because it's her dad, and she has the right to get angry because it's her dad. And then he said, but the rest of you can go fuck yourselves. He said, the rest of the world can go fuck himself. Why? It's a fiction. It's not fucking real. It's my interpretation of it. So I made Bruce Lee an asshole. Sue me. Go fucking cry me a river. I don't give a shit. It's part of a
wow.
It was part of a narrative for a fucking make-believe story. It's not fucking real. It's not fucking real. So go fuck yourselves. The daughter, she can have your issues, and if she feels bad, I understand. She can feel that way because it's her dad. I understand that. I respect that, and I'm not going to say anything negative towards that. The rest of y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Go eat.
So why am I ranting all about this? Because it's just to give you a pointer or an illustration or an idea what his character is about when he says something that can be perceived as controversial. Basically, he don't give a shit. So, in the podcast with Tom Segura, longest intro ever, I know. In the podcast, Tom Segura.
Okay, it's our podcast. If you didn't want to listen, you can go away too.
Yeah. So, in the podcast with Tom Segura, he touched upon the whole superhero craze, and he said, "Look, back when I was a kid, I loved Marvel. But he said, but these fucking movies, I can't stand. Not that he hates them. He understands that what they produce because they make a shitload of money. But he says it affects the industry because now the standard is if you don't make $1 billion, you're not even breaking even. Like whereas 20, 30 years ago, you made $300 million. I was like, holy shit, this is a very fucking good movie. You know?
Yeah, but the technology nowadays, everything is going up. Especially making a movie.
Yeah, but in part, you have to blame the superhero movies. And he's saying that, he understands, for example, you've heard of the complaints, for example, of Martin Scorsese about the superhero films. Have you heard of it?
No.
Well, he's also had an idea. I mean, he's apologized since because he understands that puts food on people's table. Everybody that's working in the production of these movies, they're getting fed because there's money coming in. He understands that part. It's like, yes, in terms of helping out the industry and making money, spreading the wealth for everyone, I understand that part. But he says, in terms of storytelling, he says, to me, that's not storytelling. And that's an old man's perspective, and not that. And I don't mean that as dismissive towards Scorsese because, hello, Scorsese, that man has done more films. I mean, I challenge you to find the shittiest Martin Scorsese film. I'll wait. I
know. You know more directors than I do.
I'll wait. Look, let me explain it to you this way: the man, I don't think has ever done a dud, ever, because he is such a goddamn fucking perfectionist. Like, if he feels that in one scene, one thing is not coming out the way to his standards, he'll just eliminate the whole fucking thing. He'll just stop everything and do it all over again. Because he has very high standards. So what am I saying? Am I shitting on comic book movies? No. What I'm saying, that is their perspective. Quentin's perspective, Martin Scorsese's perspective. And you know what? They're entitled and they're allowed to have their perspective because you know what the fuck that's called? Having your own ideas. We don't have to all follow the same narrative of feeling a certain way. Like, if you like comic book movies, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, praise God, and all the other stuff. Follow and like all your shit. And just because Quentin Tarantino doesn't like it or Martin Scorsese doesn't like it, that doesn't mean you don't have to like it. That is their perspective. That's their thoughts. Just because they don't like it, that doesn't mean you don't have to like it. You can keep liking the stuff that you like, and it doesn't matter if other people with very big authority, with very big say on the situation would say. For example, I'm in the middle with the whole superhero movie thing because I am a geek. Always been one. Always will be one. Never have stopped being one. Shit, I still own comic books. I have a bunch of Funkos. Most of them are comic book characters. But I feel a superhero fatigue in the terms of the movie because how many fucking times you're gonna see the same origin story? You understand? It's basically copy paste. You just change the colors, the figures, the ethnicity, and whatnot. But it's basically the same old shit. And I understand you got to introduce these characters. You just can't throw them in there. I know, but basically every superhero movie or story is the same thing. Dude has no powers, has powers, great power, big responsibility, whatever. And then you have your fucking melee in the end. A CGI fest worthy of a Jackson Pollock painting. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
So what I'm saying is, like, look, if you like your comic book movies, keep liking them. Nobody said you have to stop liking them. And just because Quentin Tarantino says he doesn't like them, that doesn't mean you have to stop liking them. Keep liking whatever the fuck you like. That's your fucking business. That's your fucking joy. And let the man have his opinion. That's something that is happening nowadays. I don't mean to get political, but there's something that happens nowadays that
are you going to be?
No. I'm not going to touch any subjects or any particular groups. It's like we all have to think the same way. No, we don't. Like
that's what makes us different.
Exactly. Like I can accept you for who you are, warts and all, and not necessarily agree 100% with everything that you think, because that would be fucking boring as fuck. That would be a boring ass fucking world. That we all agree with every single fucking little detail. That's bullshit. That is 100% bullshit. So I rather have hearing him say his piece, say his opinion, and accept it. That's it. Like, are you pissed at him just because he doesn't like superhero movies? Are you gonna think less of him? Like, you saw Reservoir Dogs now, right? Is it not? No, I'm sorry, Pulp Fiction.
I saw it so long ago. I would have to rewatch the whole thing.
But is it not the best shit you've ever heard of?
No, it is, because a lot of people reference back to it.
Like, that's one of the best movies ever, in my opinion. Like, I remember the first time I saw the Gimp scene. Bring in the Gimp. I saw that shit. And then what they did to poor Marcellus Wallace. A lot of people getting that references. The other ones, please ignore. Please ignore. You don't want that shit on you. You don't want to close your eyes and see that shit. That's fucked up. That's very fucked up. Anyway, you were talking about a story that you heard. I mean, for us marks,
it
is something that, like, knowledge that has been passed around for.
Well, we all know HBK was a playboy. I mean, we all know that.
We're talking about, like, what, 1996?
Let me take a look here.
Because I think she was let go by 98.
Hold on 1 second. It was
let go by.
It was a 2-part thing here that I was reading.
Anyway, I'll introduce it, and then while you're searching.
Well, yeah, it was late 1996. So it's basically, this is coming from Tammy. I don't know.
Tammy Lynn Switch.
Yeah,
Sitch, or I don't know.
Sitch, yeah, something like that. This is coming from her autobiography, Star Shattered: The Rise and Fall and Rise of Wrestling Diva. So basically, I follow this page on Facebook. It's all like WWF old school stuff. So, to me, when I was younger back in the day, I didn't read into it. I just saw the wrestling and kept going. So supposedly in 1996, things started to get pretty rocky between her and Chris,
Candido.
and they decided to take a break.
Chris Candido.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't, he's been dead for like. He's been dead for a while. Anyway, he was her fiance
At the time, yeah.
No, that he was until the time of death, till he died.
Okay.
They were together until he died. Well, except the time that we're going to mention now.
Yeah. So they decided to take a little break.
Allegedly.
So she said that many nights he stayed at his mother's house or father's house or got a hotel room when they were on the road with when you're on the road with someone 24/7, you tend to get on each other's nerves. We weren't totally broken up, but we weren't totally together either. We kept up the charades for being happy couple at work because it wasn't anyone's business. Mm-hmm. And then early chapters was she mentioned that she was in love with Shawn Michaels, HBK, when she was 13 years old. So obviously she's older, but she's been in love with him since she was 13.
Okay, so he's older than her, yet if you see pictures of her now.
Well, the drugs fucked her up.
Ooh, Jesus.
Drugs took a toll on her like you would not believe.
And that's your toll. PSA right there.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't fucking do drugs.
Look her up from back in 1996 till today.
Yeah. Do a cross reference between Sunny or Tammy Lynn Switch from 1996, 97 to her currently now. I warn you. Pray before you see the banner picture. Because that shit will haunt your fucking dreams. And to add to the fact, she actually did a porno a few years ago.
She did.
And looking vivid. And looking haggard as she does now.
Yeah, she did 2 videos, actually. Vivid paid her to do 2 videos.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Continue.
So one night we had.
Let's get this shit over with.
Yeah, I'll try my best. One night they had a skit together. He was going to be in the ring with a bunch of heels hit to take him out. Mm-hmm. He was in a fight, and he was to fight each and one of them and call them into the ring one by one.
Okay.
I was supposed to get in the ring like a shy little schoolgirl and he would have mentioned to me to pucker up, like he was going to kiss me. He would then turn away and diss me as the live TV show went off. After we faded to black, he went and turned around and grabbed me and kissed me, much to the crowd delighted.
Mm-hmm. The plot thickens.
Yeah. Backstage, when everyone was talking over what was going to happen, Shawn pulled me aside and asked, "So, what kind of kiss can I give you?" So this is all from her side.
And look, this is pre-Christianity HBK. This is HBK on all the drugs. On
all types of drugs.
This is HBK on all the drugs. On all of them.
Part of the clique.
On all of them.
This was before. This was before all the drugs. Before the drugs. Yeah.
No. This is the period that most of us marks of the day would say this is classic asshole HBK.
Yeah.
This is a classic asshole HBK on all the drugs. Continue.
So she said, "Any kind of kiss you want." I replied in the sexiest voice I could conjure up, giving him a little wink and a smile. He was happy to hear that and smiled and walked away.
So she wasn't. She was
hot for him.
She was
since 13. Now, she's probably what, 18, 19, 20, something now. Doesn't say how old she was, but
she was like, "I got the parking ticket for you here."
Yeah, pretty much. Come and park it right here.
Come and park it right here anytime you want. In-N-Out burger.
So it was time. I'm ringside, and he calls me over to the ring. I walk over to him. He turns away, turns black, and grabs me and dips me. He
Mm.
laid the hottest, sexiest, wettest kiss I ever experienced right there in the center of the ring. As he was kissing me, which must have felt like 5 minutes and probably damn close to that, he laid me down on the canvas and continued to kiss me and dry hump me as well as a little as well.
Are we aroused yet?
So she says, I gotta tell you, it was good and I loved it. Didn't want it to end, and the crowd loved it more. They were howling like wolves, and I bet you the women in the audience were wishing it was them. It was hot, hot kiss. Call me crazy, but I felt sparks doing the kiss. Okay, I felt freaking fireworks. I mean, come on, it was the Heartbreak Kid for crying out loud. The most beautiful man I ever seen. All that kiss. The next week at TV, it was standing by the curtain watching the show as well as I usually do, and Sean walked up behind me to look and watch over my head. As he inched closer and closer to me, I could feel his hot breath warming the hairs on the back of my neck. Do you feel that? He whispered. Do you know what what he was talking about?
Oh yeah,
He was referring to his hard
his mini me.
mini me, pressed up firmly against my ass.
Or as some dudes in a podcast I used to call it would refer it as dingus.
Dingus. Oh, okay, that's a new one. I never heard of that one.
Giving her the dingus.
Giving her the dingus, huh? Okay. Fully up against my ass. Oh yes, I felt it all good and hard.
Okay, Sonny,
So
can we get to the fucking point, Sonny? Is this fucking porn or what the fuck?
It's pretty much porn because
she's like salivating all over the fucking dude. It's like, oh, he put his dingus on my ass. He kissed me for 5 minutes and I wet myself in front of the public. Ah.
Pretty much the way that story ends, and I'm not gonna read it word for word. After that, she supposedly was Mohau. Down there, and they went into the locker room, locked the door, and just
Sukalamink.
Sukalamink, yeah.
Sukalamink.
Michaels beat
they
that
gave you
shit
the
up.
minkia juice.
Michaels beat that shit up
and destroyed the nether regions.
Yes, but I was just like, but what, she. When she said Chris, I don't remember. That wasn't Mark Merrill's real name, right, Chris?
No, Mark Merrill.
Oh,
that's
Mark Merrill was a Sable.
Sable.
I'm sorry,
Sable. Okay. The Chris she's talking about is Chris Candido. You probably don't remember him because he was like a Mick Carter. He was a Mick Carter.
I have to look at his face, but I don't remember that name.
He was.
But it was just
the place where he had the biggest impact was in ECW.
Okay.
That was the base. That's where I remember him the most. I don't even remember him in WWE because there was a period from 92 till 96 that I stopped watching wrestling. Like altogether. From that time, I like wrestling was... that was the only time in my life that I had no clue whatsoever what the hell was going on in wrestling. Because I always had an idea from 1981, that's like my earliest memories from wrestling. That's when it started the whole thing, and but in 92, I just stopped cold turkey and didn't go back to it until 96. 96 where I rediscovered it because that's when the NWO started, and also when Austin 316 was born. In 96. So I came in just as when the business was starting to get hot again. I came back to it. No, DX was next year. The year afterwards.
97.
Yeah. And 97. That's when DX started hitting stride. But Austin 316, I came back, I think it was like by Survivor Series 96. So it was
okay.
So that was the year where Brett and Austin.
Screw job.
No. 97 was the screw job. 96 was the year that Brett came back after losing to Shawn in WrestleMania that year, and his first match ever with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, this was Stone Cold Steve Austin, but beta version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He
Yeah,
didn't.
it wasn't 100% yet.
I mean, he did have the stunner by then, but he was still using the $1 Million Dream. So, it's because he still had some, stuff from Left One when he was being managed by Ted DiBiase, when he was known as the Ringmaster. Anyway, so yeah, going back to the whole Sunny deal with HBK, that's for us marks. That's like old news. Everybody knew that. Like the fans knew, the wrestlers knew, and even Vince knew. Those two were fucking.
Vince knew a lot of shit that he just didn't stop.
No, and recent
Michael
events
was like his face though at one point.
No. But recent events come to show you that he was just, following the bro code.
he was getting his little mini.
No, he was just following the bro code. I'm like, well, I'll get my dick wet. I understand. I'll get my dick wet too.
To me is, and you read all that, like me, it's coming across my phone. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no, everybody knows.
Just like that that British Bulldog bullshit.
You know that oh yeah. Fuck. That's messed up. Anyway, the thing with the her affair with HBK, the thing is that Sunny being Sunny, and I don't mean to call her a liar, but this is a woman that right now is in jail because she was drunk driving and killed an old man, and she was lying about that.
Wasn't her first time she was driving drunk either.
Exactly. So, it's a little hard to call a spade there. You know what I mean? And also, Chris Candido, allegedly, I'm not going to say this 100% because I don't have all the facts on me. I wasn't there. I don't know none of these people, but the general consensus is that they were actually together when all that shit happened. And she's just saying that in her autobiography just to cover her ass. Now, it could be the fact that they were on a break. Still doesn't change the fact that she opened that nether region and let HBK park it and unpark it multiple times till Kingdom Come. Emphasis on that final word. Emphasis on that final word. That's all I'm going to say about that. As Forrest Gump would say, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Another news.
Let's go with the Disney shit.
What? We go from porn to Disney, like
that. Hey, there is a connection. Hey, let's just say it this way: somebody got fucked. Anyway. You remember a couple of weeks ago you were talking about this dude that was the president or
CEO.
The CEO of Disney. I forgot his name. Bob. What's his name? His name is Bob. I don't know what the fuck. His
name was Bob, but
I don't know what the fuck is that. I guess that in order for you to be a CEO in Disney, your name has to be Bob.
Yeah, bad chap pick.
Yeah. What's his face? Yeah. Anyway, what's his face? He
got let go by Disney.
Don't bury the fucking. Don't fucking bury the lead, dude. I was gonna go there. Anyway, just to remind the people, the big boo boo he did, talking about like, oh, the kids watch the cartoons and like making reference like, oh, the adults don't watch that shit.
They don't want that after watching 20 hours of Disney movies. They want to, after the kids are asleep, they want to watch something adult.
Yeah, so his ass is gone.
Who the fuck you talking for, buddy?
So his ass is gone.
His ass got,
I mean,
let the door hit you on the way out.
Exactly. They can sugarcoat it all the way they want. There is a giant footprint of Mickey Mouse's boot right square on his ass. Like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking cunt! Woohoo! Well, I don't know why I added Mario there. Anyway, Mary Margaret fisted him. Anyway, he got the fucking boot, and Bob Iger got the fucking kingdom again. So this is the dude that is responsible for the surge that Disney had, because add to the fact that whatever this dude fucking said, Bob what's his face, the guy that got the Mickey Mouse boot marked on his ass, all the bullshit that he said, add to the fact that also the stock in Disney plummeted while he was there, plummeted, and also caused a little fucking uproar that happened with Florida, that caused that the Florida government, they said, oh, so you want to play asshole with us? Okay, we're gonna tax your ass up the yin yang, because Disney World
was tax free.
Was tax free. So as of August, guess what? Pay up, bitch. Pay up.
He also fucked up with the releases of all these movies. Like Black Widow was supposed to be done in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was by contract. It was supposed to be done in the movie theater first. Wait a couple of weeks or a month or something. I forgot what 100%.
And then release it on Disney Plus.
And then be released.
But they gave it to justify the contractual obligation. They actually gave it a limited release in the middle of the fucking pandemic. It was in the middle of 2020, where nobody went to the fucking movie theater. Nobody went to the fucking movie theater. Nobody.
I still haven't even been in the movie theater.
Oh, no, I've been there multiple times since.
Well, yeah, I understand you, but it's like, I know someone that I worked with for 11, 10 plus years. Single guy, older guy, in his 60s. Went to the movie theater almost on every big release. And he reminds me of you because you guys watch a lot of movies, know directors, all that good stuff. And he's not even stepping up in the movie theater. So what the fuck you doing releasing a movie like that in the middle of the pandemic?
Exactly. Like, you could have held it on for a year.
And then you make like Scarlett Johansson look like a bitch because...
And you know that they had to settle out of court because she did sue their asses.
Yeah.
She did sue their asses. But I guess they came up with a number that she was, oh, okay, I'm good.
Well, it's probably what they probably said, well, you know, we'll pay you this if the movie does this, and we'll pay you this if it doesn't do this.
I bet that what they did was that they gave her a nut. You know what I mean? They gave the nut that she wanted.
Yeah.
The percentage that she wanted, because I think she was like co-producer of that movie. I think
she did do some work on it, I think.
Yeah. So, and that was her last Marvel movie.
Yeah,
her last one.
Is up most likely.
No, it is up, and her character is dead as fuck.
So
her character is dead.
I didn't watch the movie, so I don't.
No, it's not the movie. She doesn't die in the movie.
Well, she died in the Ranger.
Infinity War. That no. She dies in Endgame.
Yeah, when she goes down because they had a sacrifice for that one.
She sacrificed herself. So
yeah.
Spoilers for a 3-year-old, 4-year-old movie.
Shit. Fuck. Let's not talk about that one anymore.
Anyway, so yeah,
he's back. He inks a $10 million deal.
Like he fucking needs it. Anyway,
I thought he would have got a little bit more than that. Like, please save us.
They'll give him a percentage or whatever the fucking company's making for it. Believe you me. Anyway, this dude had his hands on the hottest property. Marvel Studios. I mean, think about it. He was the architect of getting all the Marvel properties back into Marvel. Like,
they didn't get Spider-Man yet, right?
No, because it's gonna
Fox
be.
Is like, nah.
No, Fox. Yeah, no, because Spider-Man belongs to Sony. The movie rights of the character belong to Sony. So what they came up with was, partnership. Like, okay, you guys obviously need us because you don't know how to make a fucking decent Spider movie for the shit of you. For the fucking life of you. You can't fucking do it. So we'll give you the magic. We'll give you our mojo. We'll give you our way of how to do shit. And we'll co-produce it with you. And we share the wealth. Whatever the movie makes, we get a percentage. You get a percentage. Because even before there was a deal like sharing the Spider-Man character with the Marvel Universe, before that, Disney actually got some percentage out of all the Marvel movies because it's still within Marvel Studios to a point, because it still belongs to Marvel.
Okay.
So there still was a backdoor deal that like Marvel got, I don't know, like 20%, but still a 20% out of $1 billion, you know, it's
a nice.
it's nice, but it's not that nut that you want. You know what I mean? It's not that. And these people are fucking ambitious, and these movies have to make $1 billion or else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, they're calling Black Adam a flop. That movie made $300 million.
How much did it cost them though?
I don't know, but 300 million fucking, you're gonna call that a fucking flop? What are you gonna do with 300 million?
But here's the thing. You also
no. Answer me the question. You think you make a $300 million? You think that goddamn, what a fucking failure am I?
No, but you also got to look at it in their eyes too. Is that if it costs 300 million to make Black Adam,
these movies,
and you only made 300, you're even.
The problem with these movies is promotional work. That's where they waste the most money. It's not even the movie that costs that much. It's the goddamn fucking promotional work that costs more than the fucking movie. You knew that? The promotional work.
You have to pay TV rights and commercials and all that other bullshit.
Promoting the movie is what costs more than the fucking movie itself. And they add that into the fucking budget. And when you compare the budget of the movie compared to what the promotional work is, the promotional work is worth more than the fucking movie. So that's why they consider it flops, because it's like, okay, you wasted, let's say, $250 million on the film. And then add to the fact $300 million for promotional work. Like, for example, you do a sponsorship with Adidas, for example. An example there. Like, okay, Black Adam Adidas sneakers. Or the Gillette, like what happened with Man of Steel. Gillette promotions, because they went to this plot line of how the hell Superman shaved his beard. Because, you know, in Man of Steel, he had a beard at the beginning of the movie. And then he shaved it mysteriously that nobody knows how. And they even made a promotional work out of that. How did Superman shave his beard? Because, a fucking Gillette ain't going to help. That shit is going to break right in the middle of his fucking hair. Because you can't cut his fucking hair with a Gillette. But let's leave that plot line in there. In the end. So people like, how does he shave his hair? Who gives a shit? It's fucking fictional. It's fucking fictional. Who gives a shit? He might probably grab the hairs off his ass and shave his face with that. Who gives a shit? Anyways, Bob Iger is back. So hallelujah, praise Jesus. Let's make all the monies again.
Bring us back to life, please.
Yeah,
because Black Adam, their budget was between 195 to 200 million.
That's
in the box office. They made 378.1. So they made
in the
back
States
their money plus more.
In the States,
that I don't call a flop.
Yeah, but they're still calling it one. Because the idea now is that you have to make $1 billion or you're a fucking flop, which is fucking bullshit. Look,
but I don't get is we're still in. Okay, I don't. To me, we're still in a pandemic.
Nah, look, this is the way I see it. Because, okay, let's say the movie eventually will make the $1 billion. Does that make it the greatest movie of all time? No, it just makes it financially bankable. Right? Exactly. Look, at the end of the day, these fucking studios, what they want is their nut. But, they want to make their money back. So they make an investment and they expect that investment will produce dividends, money. They want their money back. So it's a fucking gamble. Because how the fuck... Look, I already told you, the movie is so-so. In my taste. There's some people call it a piece of shit. And there's some people that actually like it. So, who's right? Everyone. Everyone is right. Because I seen a bunch of movies, and I saw the movie, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's not dog shit, but it's not the greatest fucking shit I've ever seen. I mean, I didn't leave the theater. It wasn't bullshit. I mean, Look, I have high tolerance for shit because I went to the movie theater and I saw Batman and Robin when it came out. That is the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my life. And I dare you to find something more awful than that fucking piece of shit.
Black Man versus Superman.
Dude, I wanted to throw I wanted to throw bleach in my eyes after I saw that fucking thing, but then I thought about it. No, then that would be the last thing I've ever seen.
Was that the one with Robin was the guy from NCIS LA?
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell?
And George Clooney was Batman.
George Clooney
Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze, and Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy. And Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl. That didn't matter. That didn't matter. The script was dog shit. Like, her name wasn't even Barbara Gordon.
What was it?
Barbara Pennyworth. She was Alfred's niece.
What?
And it was such lazy lazy writing. Like when she discovered the Batcave, because Alfred was dying of a disease, so he was barely in the movie. So a video package comes from Alfred. Oh, I can see it's my niece. Okay, you discovered the whole thing. Guess what? I was expecting all of this. I have taken the liberty of making a bat suit just for your measurements, which is creepy in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you had your niece.
You measured her while she was sleeping or something?
So you had the measurements because that fucking suit is skin tight, motherfucker. That fucking suit is skin tight. So you telling me you had that ass. You had that ass measured to the T. Those titties measured to the T. That whole body measured to the T. And she's your fucking niece? Something ain't right about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm the one that have to point that shit out. But something ain't right about that. You dirty, incestuous old fuck. You dirty, incestuous old fuck. I hope you did die, motherfucker. You dirty old man. Like, if Bruce Wayne don't even bat an eye. And, like, she obviously looks like, how the fuck when they actually meet in suit, there's like, who are you? I'm Batgirl. And Batman is like, well, that's not PC. We should call you Batwoman or Batperson. Like, really? In 97? You woke? In 1997, you fucking woke? Get the fuck out of my face. You fucking lazy ass Batman piece of shit. Worst Batman ever. That's why nobody talk about him. And you know that George Clooney actually in his office keeps a poster of Batman and Robin in his house, right in front of him. And you know why? He said that I keep that in order to remind myself not to do shit for money. At least he's honest. At least he's honest.
So he can do fucking coffee commercials? I mean...
No. He says that he probably owns a coffee company, to be sure.
I don't think so.
He owns a lot of shit, man. Why do you think you don't see him much on movies anymore? Because he has a lot of other fucking side businesses now. He don't give a shit about acting that much now. He's more passionate about producing and directing now than acting. But that's either here or there. Let's continue because so again, congratulations, Bob Iger, good Bob. hope
Please do as well, please.
Yes, do not fuck Disney more up than the other Bob did. Anyway, yesterday, as of recording time, was a very good pay-per-view or premium live event, as WWE calls it, for the Survivor Series War Games. Those of you who are not initiated to the term War Games is that they use two rings, they combine two rings together, and they put a giant-ass cage between the two rings, and every few minutes, one wrestler comes in, beats the bejesus out of the other one, and it's a team of 5 or 4. In this case, we're 5. And until all participants are in the ring, the actual match does not begin. This is just prelude to excuse to beat the living shit out of each other. And then when all the participants are actually in, that's when the actual match starts. And then when you can score a win by either pinfall or submission. So there were 2 matches of that nature last night on the pay-per-view for Survivor Series. One was full of females. It was comprised of the team of Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch versus the team of Damage Control, which is comprised of Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Bayley. Then you also have Rhea Ripley and God damn it, Nikki Cross. Okay, so those are all the women that are participating. And not to go into details with the whole thing, Becky Lynch wins. She threw herself from the top of the cage on top of 2 females, did a leg drop on the table where those 2 females were on, and she pinned one of them. 1, 2, 3. That's how they won. Then we had the U.S. title match between Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, and Seth Rollins, which Austin Theory won. And that was comeback booking for all of those who were trashing on Austin Theory for cashing in on the U.S. title that he didn't cash in. And he won that title back. Basically, I'm going to skip until I'm just going to go directly to the end part, which is the other War Games match, which was the Bloodline, composed by, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn versus the team of the Brawling Brutes.
They didn't call him Sammy Uso, yeah?
After last night, I think he's hearing the name. So, but let's not, that's almost killing the lead right there.
I'm sorry.
After last night, yeah. So the Brawling Brutes, that's Sheamus, Rich Holland, and Butch, formerly known as Pete Dunne, and Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. Now, the seed that was planted in this match is that Kevin Owens, on Friday Night SmackDown, was like trying to convince Sammy to come back to the light and leave the bloodline, because Sammy and Kevin are best friends in real life and also in the storyline. And he was saying, look, the bloodline is going to betray you. That's Kevin Owens telling Sammy on Friday. They're going to betray you. So just betray them first. And Sammy is not, Sammy didn't say one thing or another. He just stood there and listened. And you can see Jimmy listening in to what they were saying. Then Jimmy asked him straight up, like, you were talking with somebody? And Sammy was like, no, I wasn't talking with anybody. So he lied. So on the pay-per-view, while in the middle of matches, Jimmy tells Roman that exactly what happened. He straight up lied to me. And Roman was like, call him in. I'm gonna get to the truth of this. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So he said, talking to Sammy, he said, okay, Sammy, is it true that you spoke with Kevin Owens yesterday? And he was like, yes, I did. So he straight up, he confessed and said, okay, so why didn't you tell that to Jimmy? So because Jimmy was he was in a match. I didn't want to get him psyched, and he already hates me. I don't want him to get nervous after the match or get him irritated. I just wanted him to stay calm. That's why I lied to him. But I said, look, I'm with you all the way. So, and Roman was like, okay. So Roman did something on the match because, like I told you, it's one enters one at a time into the cage. So he let Jay go in first as the member of his team. Mm-hmm. Then when it was their turn again to go, somebody go inside the cage, Jimmy wanted to go in, and Roman stopped Jimmy like, no. Sammy, you go in. Because he wanted to see how those two were going to interact. And the storyline was perfectly pitched because Jimmy doesn't trust Sammy. Sammy's trying to get to his good graces. Sammy did everything in his power to try to convince Jimmy, like, I'm on your side, and Jimmy doesn't trust him. They even started pushing each other, started fighting with each other. But Sammy is trying to compose himself. So anyway, let's jumping forward to the end of the match. Kevin Owens is cleaning house. He's got Roman dead to rights. And he does the pop-up powerbomb and the stunner. So that's a 1-2 combination that you ain't gonna get up from. So the ref is counting 1, 2, and Sammy holds the ref's arm so he doesn't hit the 3. So Kevin and Sammy start discussing, and Jimmy was gonna give him a super kick on Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens blocked it, and while he was blocking it, Sammy gives him a Ric Flair low blow. You know, the one that boom, the fist goes up in the ass.
Yep.
And Kevin sold it like $1 million. It's like his balls went up to his eyeballs. Like, oh! He sold it like, oh my God, I ain't having kids no more. I have no kids no more. That's a vasectomy. Oh! So Sammy puts him on the corner and then Sammy goes to Roman, wakes Roman up and says, look, I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this so you can see where my loyalty is. Look at me. He told Sammy, look at me. This is my loyalty to you. So Sammy gives him the haluva kick, which is running from corner to corner and giving him a straight kick right on the fucking face. And then Kevin Owens was out cold. So Sammy just grabs him, throws him in the middle of on the ring, and looks at Jimmy and goes like, he's all yours. Like, I just sacrificed my best friend. And Jimmy just looked at him and like, for real? He's like, fucking kill him. Do what you got to do. And Jimmy does the Uso splash, 1, 2, 3. And Roman immediately grabs Sammy and gives him a giant ass hug. And even Jimmy, who has been, you remember Jimmy, the one that was trying to laugh, trying to hide his laughter. His character hates Sammy's guts. And he
Uzi enough.
Yeah, so Jimmy grabs Sammy and gives him this giant bear hug. He lifts him up in the air. Like, that's my boy. Now you my boy. Now you my boy, man. Now you my boy. And Sammy just goes ape shit. He even rips off his T-shirt going like, I told you I'm one of them. I told you I'm one of them. So, like, after the actions of last night, you got to give him the Sammy Uso moniker. You got to call him Sammy Uso. You have to. He sold his soul to the fucking devil. After last night, that's it. He sold his soul. Like they even reference it. The commentators even reference it. Kevin Owens was Sammy's best man in his wedding. They even references that. Like, they threw shit from real life. Like, showing that this motherfucker just killed off his best man in his wedding. Just to sell his soul to be with a fucking bloodline. He sold his soul to the devil just so he can be. And by the way, the bloodline, they were all drenched in red. They were all dressed in red. That's always a key factor in all War Games matches. Everybody that dresses in red wins. As I noticed in almost all the War Games matches I have seen, everybody that's dressed in red wins. And the entire bloodline were dressed in red, except Roman. He only had the glove red. Then everybody else was just drenched in red.
That reminds me of like Tiger Woods when he was playing golf.
Yeah, the red shirt.
The red shirt. You knew you were done.
When it came out,
Tiger Woods pulled up the final day with the red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, game over, suckers.
So yeah, that's a brief summary of the pay-per-view from last night, and like I was telling you before we started recording, Triple H said that pay-per-view actually did good money for WWE. He said that was the highest grossing Survivor Series in the past 35 years. That it has been that long since the Survivor Series paid off for WWE in that way. I mean, they said that even Peacock subscriptions went up. Network subscriptions went up for those of that are not living in the States, because the WWE Network still works only outside of the States, not here in the States anymore, because now Peacock has all of that. I already said that. Why am I repeating myself?
They probably did sign a nice little contract, that's all.
No, I bet NBC Universal gave him some fucking sweet quan on their side.
Weird. Well, it's, I live close to or around the area
of WWE
headquarters are.
In Stanford?
Yeah. I live somewhere near there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're moving offices.
Yeah, like across the street, right?
Across the street. and it's like the office that they're moving into. I don't know if they're sharing the building or not, but it's like the new office that has like WWE all plastered all over it, while the other company, if it's still in there, has like this little sign. They're like, nah, we own this bitch.
Look, WWE. That's one thing I'll say about Vinnie Mac. He was a shrewd businessman. He was a very shrewd businessman. So he did leave WWE in a very enviable position in terms of money making. The money was being printed on that fucking place. They were printing money. They were making money off the yin yang. And even during the pandemic, where everybody was losing money, they were making money
Oh
during
yeah,
that
you
time.
got people weren't going, so subscription to Peacock.
And
People,
also, they kept their television rights, which is something that is prime for them to keep earning money because that
those time
network,
slots.
exactly, those time slots are paying them. And they were one of the few live productions that was going on in the middle of the pandemic. The very few. I mean, where you were watching. I mean, the NBA tried that fucking bubble shit.
It worked.
To a point. To a point.
Listen, as long as there would see, that's the thing with basketball. As long as there's basketball going on,
I mean, there's
NBA fans like me, you don't give a fuck where it
look.
is,
There's
as
some
long as
people.
it's happening.
There's some people that give that 2020 championship an asterisk.
Just like Barry Bonds and McGuire and Sosa have next to their name for the home runs.
God, let's not go there. Let's not fucking go there. Let's not fucking go there. We already went through that rant a week ago, I think. So yeah, the WWE did gangbusters last night. So kudos to them. Kudos for telling a good story, for entertaining story.
I'm gonna have to watch it now,
Yeah, it was very good.
especially in that match. Those
Uh,
matches, I never heard of those kind of those war zone matches.
war games, war
War
games.
game matches. Those sounds interesting. I think I have to go watch it.
Yeah, I mean they beat the bejesus out of each other. Even the women did a great job. The women did more crazy shit than the men did. To tell you the truth, they were jumping off the cage, like beating the shit out of each other with kendo sticks. The women went
Damn.
buck wild. The women went buck wild, man. They were fucking each other up. They fucked each other up, not literally. No porn included here. I mean, there were kids watching there, for God's sake.
We're still talking about Sunnies.
No. She got her HBK pounding back then. She got it.
Fucking story. When I was reading, my jaw just was just like, huh?
Everybody already know. Like you ask any wrestling fan, old school wrestling fans, like, was Sonny giving it to everybody? Well, anybody that gave her a push on the.
I mean, I was a old time fan. I don't watch it anymore. I stopped.
You remember Sonny, so
I remember Sunny. I remember, but I wasn't looking, into the back room of saying, oh, who's fucking who? I mean,
Well,
HBK. You can just tell the dude was a
you,
sexy MFer. Okay, he was getting minka all over the place. Okay,
his pound of flesh.
yes, he was getting it anywhere at
Yeah.
any time when he wanted it.
Anyway, so like don't you even remember back when the last rivalry that Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had, that Bret mentioned, you've been seeing a lot of sunny days lately,
I don't remember the wording,
but that was a direct reference of Shawn of all people, like maybe after he already had his fun with her, he was trying to infer. Mind you that Bret was married back in those days. He had his wife and kids. He was trying to imply that Sonny was sleeping around with him. And although Bret has been honest and sincere, saying that yes, he did cheat on his wife on the road a bunch of times. He was honest, and when he did his autobiography, he said that he did some drugs and some drinking, and he did fuck around on the side, but not like whoring Ric Flair style, because Ric Flair was like
Cheating is cheating. I don't give a fuck who you horn.
Yeah,
It
but
could be 1, 2,
yeah,
3,
okay.
1.
There's
It's
cheating.
still
Look, dude, there's cheating, and then there's Ric Flair cheating. Ric Flair cheating is the stuff of gods. This motherfucker, he was like, if you asked him, he was like, if I couldn't be with 4 girls at least a night, I didn't feel satisfied. That was his ratio. It was 4 girls a night. That motherfucker didn't share. He wasn't like Vince was like, well, I'm done with her. You can have her. No. He was like, nah, 4. I want 4. Like the thing about the 4 horsemen, now you can get it. It's like, it's 4 a night, bitch. It's 4 a night. There's plenty for everyone down here. There's plenty to go around. And now you understand why he always went, woo! Now you know. Now you know. So, yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, there's cheating and then there's Ric Flair.
cheating is cheating. I don't give a damn. Okay.
Dude, like, and he also like he even said it in his 30 for 30 and ESPN, he said like, I always found monogamy so boring.
What?
Like, how can you just have one woman? Like, that's asinine. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. It's 4 women, that's it, a night, and who cares who their names are? Like, you talking about a dude who don't give a fuck. Father of the year.
I wonder why all his problems are happening.
Dude, Father of the year, he wasn't going to win.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
He's spreading that minky juice like all over the place, like,
Better get tested.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. He has like 20,000 kids, all of them at the same age, from like 80,000 women. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. You're talking about people playing like a franchise? This is the dude that took the commandment, multiply. He talking to me. God is talking to me. I got to be the one to multiply.
I was blessed with this thing down here. I'm going to share it.
And remember, baby arm holding an apple.
On that note, visit the Husky Babu website. Public store has 40% off by the time it hits Monday. It might be a little bit more for Cyber Monday.
Baby, how come we have to end it with Ric Flair? Why? Woo! Why do we have to end it with Ric Flair? We were talking about Survivor Series, and then all of a sudden, Ric Flair and his giant penis comes out. His giant minkia. His floating device. Oh, God. Wow, how do we go from there?
He's going to be in a wheelchair. My fingers still work.
That's Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah, and I said, and Ric Flair is going to be in a wheelchair, and he's going to say the same thing.
No, his machine is going to say, "Why not ride Spates Mountain?" Oh, this ride, longest line.
Okay. 97 might be taken off the air.
Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, let's end it there. That's enough.
You don't want to do another story. That's kind of a bad place to be leaving.
Reach for the stars. Have a dream and follow it. Like Ric Flair.
Oh my god.
Oh god. I hope he has calmed down.
I doubt it.
I hope to God he has calmed down.
I don't see it happening.
Oh God, I hope to God he has, because it's sad that in your 70s that you'll be thinking that you still can fool around that way. I mean, he has not only are his kids adults, he must have not even grandchildren, like great grandchildren. He must have by this point.
Charlotte just got married, so she doesn't have anything yet.
No, she hasn't. Andrade hasn't given her, hasn't fulfilled her belly yet.
No,
that we know of. I mean, he's probably, yes, definitely that thing we're all thinking about. We're not gonna go in graphic detail, but yeah. But that's just sad. An old man, holding on into past laurels and even calling that shit laurels. I mean, what is it with men's obsession? Like, I've fucked so many women. I fucked this many amount of women. Like that's a badge of honor for you? Like, okay, so you fucked 20,000 women. What can I say about that?
Well,
like, has it falling off yet? It
matters to some people and some it doesn't.
Like, has it falling off yet?
Thing might be green. Probably has
that shit should have gangrene.
Through A through Z.
That shit should have gangrene. Should be black as fuck. That shit should be infested with pus.
Okay, we're gonna end this podcast on a good note.
Hey, you just poked the dragon, but you just keep poking the bear. What the fuck you want?
All I said was, you kept saying kids, and I said, well, Charlotte just got married. That's all I said.
And I'm not talking about Andrade's piece. I'm talking about Ric Flair's piece.
Exactly. So you kept going back there.
Because always goes to urethra.
Oh my God. Oh.
I guess that's the best conclusion ever, making you uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable. They might take us off the air. But according to you, that one with Angel by you guys by yourself is still up. So we're still doing this.
And the most listened so far. Anyway, let's end it here. We're just gonna keep fucking it up.
Yeah, we're
just gonna keep muddying the waters.
We can go deeper and deeper.
Hey, we're Ric Flair. That fucking sergeant is the size of a drill. You can go piercing the earth, my friend. And he'll just keep wooing all the way down.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo! Woo! Woo!
I don't know, man.
Oh, God. Okay, so yeah, the T-Bone looks store. That's still a thing. There's probably a discount. I mean, where isn't a discount? And
it's 40% right now.
Oh, so
35. But by the time we,
hey, it's Cyber Monday.
You hear this, it will be 35 again.
Yeah, it's always around that range. So get yourself something there that you like. I might be, adding more designs in the future. So hopefully Pray to God that I get the inspiration to do it.
I'm wearing my shirt.
Yeah, we already have one of our Husky Bibles wearing his merch.
I'm putting a picture up on Instagram after we're done.
Yep. And also our website, huskybiblepod.com, where you can catch up with all the previous podcasts. 97 in total with this one. So we're getting to the we're 3 away, dude.
This is number 97.
97, 98, 99, 100. Like this is
they don't pay me to count.
This is basic mathematics, man. This ain't fucking trigonometry or algebra.
Divide this by this.
Like, what the fuck is the use of algebra in the real world?
That's a whole nother podcast, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother podcast.
We're beating around the bush.
We go this, we'd be here for another hour.
Yeah. Okay. So again, TeePublic, go get whatever you want from there. That's available in the site. Because I hope to God, I'm not gonna go there. That's gonna open another can of worms. I'm not gonna go there. See, I do have some control.
I think because I'm here. If Angelo was here, you would have went there.
I do have some control.
You got some new shirts to be making.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride this mountain.
Oh
my fingers still work.
Oh God, that's gonna be fucking disgusting. Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, TeePublic and website, our social media, Husky Bible Pod on Instagram and Twitter.
Johnny Boy 426 on Instagram.
That's on you. Mine is that Ariel Duran. If you notice, drawings have come up recently.
Really good ones.
The floodgates have opened, so let's hope that the water still keep processing and the inspiration still comes, because I have certain things that it killed the inspiration. We're not going to mention it, but you already imagine what could be causing this. You have no inspiration to draw. What could it be? Let me see. So
that's a long list.
No, very short one. Actually, one little subject that one little thing, and we can mention it. That pretty much is it. Anyway, so thank you for listening to this shit show. It's been Ric Flair's
Woo!
Space Mountain Stories.
Space Mountain. It's not only a Disney ride.
As he says, oldest ride, longest line. God. This has been the Husky Bible Podcast. This has been Ariel and
Jonathan.
Take care and
peace out, everybody.
Hopefully this made you laugh like it did me. Which says a lot about you then. Me already.
I want to ride Space Mountain.
Longest
ride ever.
No. Oldest ride, longest
ride ever. Might not be as long anymore, but it's there.
I don't know. Anyway, take care, people.
Peace out, everyone. Have a good week.